Hey there everyone, it's Thakard, and welcome back to the Blueberry series. A series designed to help new players learn game mechanics, tactics, and strategies in Heroes and Generals. So recently we've been going over the submachine guns, and today is going to be no different. But we are finishing up with all the different factions today, and we are talking about the American submachine guns. So we are talking about the M3 Grease Gun and the M1A1 Thompson. I know there are a lot of M1A1s, but this one is the Thompson. So let's go look at the stats. First off, as usual, we're going to be taking a look at all of the unlock requirements. For the M3 Grease Gun, you unlock it at Infantry Assault Level 1. This is for the infantry, the recon, and the paratroopers. The tankers have it unlocked as their starting weapon, and pilots must unlock it at ground support level 10. The cost is going to be 50,000 credits or 600 gold. And if you want to unlock a captured version, you will have to get the M3 to level 9, and then it will cost you 250,000 credits or 1,200 gold. The M1A1 Thompson, on the other hand, is unlocked at SMG Assault level 9 for all classes. It will cost you 158,000 credits or 1,900 gold. And a captured version will be unlocked at Thompson level 9 for 883,000 credits or 3,800 gold. The M3 does 34 damage at the near range of 10 meters, and it decreases to 15 damage at the far range of 47 meters. It has a 462 RPM. It has 30 rounds in the magazine with a reload time of 3.1 seconds. It requires 6 equipment points to equip. It will give you 20 seconds worth of maintenance load, and the cost per shot is 0.17 credits. The Thompson does 34 damage at 10 meters range, decreasing down to 16 damage at 50 meters. Its rate of fire is quite nice at 600 RPM. It has a magazine size of 30, and it takes 2.9 seconds to reload it. It requires 6 equipment points to equip, will extend your maintenance load by 20 seconds, and the cost per shot is 0.12 credits. Obviously here, the Thompson wins out. It does slightly more damage at far range, but you look at that rate of fire. It has nearly 140 more RPM than the M3. Plus, it costs you 0.05 credits per shot less to use than the M3. Now here we have our time to kill stats. The M3 at a near range against unarmored targets will take 260 milliseconds to kill a target. Against bronze, silver, and gold armored targets, it will take 390 milliseconds to kill a target. At the far range against unarmored, it will take 780 milliseconds. Bronze and silver armored targets at far range, 910 milliseconds. And gold armored targets will take 1,040 milliseconds to kill with the M3 at far range. The Thompson comes in at 200 milliseconds for near and unarmored. For bronze, silver, and gold unarmored at near ranges, it's 300 milliseconds. And for far range, that goes to 600 milliseconds for an unarmored target. But bronze, silver, and gold for far ranges all are at 700 milliseconds. You can see here that the Thompson, when it comes to killing stuff, be it in the short range or the far range, is just superior. And I'm not just talking about the M3 here. The Thompson has better time to kill stats than any of the other SMGs. Next up, we have our accuracy stats. And as always, remember, these are in degrees. Your initial Conefire is how far those crosshairs are spread out when you take your first shot. Now for the M3, that is 0.64 degrees. It has an upward camera recoil of 0.25 degrees. It has a leftward recoil of 0.05 degrees. And it has a variance on its recoil of 0.18. The Thompson has a Conefire of 0.5 degrees, has an upward recoil of 0.45 degrees, and it has a leftward recoil of 0.1 degrees. Its recoil variance is 0.15 degrees. Here we're going to have to give some love to the M3. It does actually have a little bit better upward recoil and side recoils, although its variance is a little bit worse than the Thompson, and the Thompson definitely has a wee bit better Conefire. Next up are the sway statistics for these guns. The M3 has a standing sway of 1.56 degrees, a crouch sway of 1.16 degrees, a prone sway of 0.46 degrees, movement sway penalty of 0.8 degrees, and a fatigue sway penalty of 1.5 degrees. The Thompson, on the other hand, has a standing sway of 1.55 degrees, a crouch sway of 1.15 degrees, a prone sway of 0.45 degrees, while its penalty for movement comes in at 0.8 degrees, and its penalty for fatigue comes in at 1.5 degrees. Because the statistics here are nearly identical, we're just going to kick over to the next screen. Here we're going to be talking about precision, starting off with our aiming modifier. Now remember, you want as low an aiming modifier as possible. And here they both have 0.5 as their aiming modifier. Now for the M3, the cone expansion per shot is 0.25, while its expansion while turning is 0.04 degrees, and its cone contraction per second is 2.0 degrees. The Thompson has a cone expansion per shot of 0.2 degrees, a cone expansion while turning of 0.04 degrees, and a cone contraction per second of 2.0 degrees. As we can see here, the only difference is really in the cone expansion per shot. The Thompson has 0.05 degrees less expansion per shot, which means every time you pull that trigger, your crosshairs grow 0.05 degrees less than they would with the M3. Alright, so that was a look at the M3 grease gun and the M1A1 Thompson. So now I tell you which one's my favorite, and this one's just dead easy. Thompson. Thompson's my favorite. And in fact, come back next week and you will be able to see just how much of my favorite it is when I am ranking all of the submachine guns in the game. That being said, if you like the M3 grease gun more than the Thompson for some reason, first off, you might be crazy. But if you aren't, and you are sane, leave your reasoning down below in the comments. Try and convince me as to why the grease gun is better than the Thompson. Also down in those comments, if you have any other questions, leave those. And if you have suggestions for what I should cover next on the Blueberry series, leave that down below as well. Alright guys, as I hinted to before, next week we are going to be doing a tier list of all the submachine guns in the game. So, I hope you are all ready for that, and until then, I hope you all have a wonderful time in game. If you enjoyed or disliked this video, I do hope you comment on it and give it a thumbs up or down. If you want to see new videos, please hit the subscribe button, and to be notified of new content when it comes out, hit the notification bell. But for now, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day, and don't forget to bring it no matter what you do. And I will see you guys in the next video.